So, you're ready for a breakthrough. You're here because you want to create a lifestyle of happiness, success, fruitfulness. You want to grow your confidence, purpose, business. I'm Kelly Orchard, speaker, author, personal and professional growth coach, and licensed psychotherapist. My purpose is to promote perpetual personal and professional growth, from planting seeds to a fruitful harvest. I have a surprisingly unique perspective to common problems and produce results for my clients by helping you cultivate, plant seeds of development, branch out, and grow through the seasons of life with fresh solutions. I'm driven by a profound sense of energy, curiosity, adventure, and creativity. My combined real-world experience, formal academic studies, and radio entertainment skills make me fun to work with. I want to share with you just a little bit about me before we get on to your growth process and the first tool that we are releasing in this program. I'm a second-generation broadcaster. My dad was in radio in Los Angeles before I was born, and it was his dream and his goal to build, own, and operate his very own radio station. So when I was a teenager, still a junior in high school, we moved from the basin of Los Angeles to a small town called Victorville, California, where the population at the time was only about 18,000. Now, I was a junior in high school, meaning I was 16 years old, and I started at that young age. The first job that I had was to be on the air, to do the 4, 5, and 6 o'clock news basically after school, and I had to do this live, and I was really bad. My voice was really high, and it would shake and quiver, and I couldn't pronounce words correctly. I mean, really, what high school kid cares about the news at that tender age? And I was really bad, and I would be scared and nervous, and I would beg my dad to please not make me do this anymore. And he had this philosophy that it was just a small town. It really wasn't the end of the world if I stumbled and fell and made mistakes. It was okay. And he would say to me, Kelly, it's not the end of the world. It's only Victorville. Another one of my jobs was to go out and sell advertising to bring in revenue for the radio station. And I had no sales experience at the time. It was the epitome of on-the-job training. And I had to go out and I had to walk into businesses and basically kind of give them a presentation and a pitch about the benefits of advertising on our radio station. And once again, I was really nervous. I was just a kid in high school in the very beginning. And I remember one of the places I went into was a clothing retail store, and the owner or manager, I don't even recall right now, was significantly older than me. He was about twice my age, and he listened to my sales pitch. And of course, I went in nervous, and my voice was real high, and I stumbled all over my words, and I really didn't know what I was doing. And he listened to me, and then he tapped me on the leg, and he said, "You're cute, honey, but next time send your daddy." So I went back to the station and I climbed up in my daddy's lap again, and I said, "Dad, please don't make me do this. I hate this. It's so embarrassing and humiliating, and I'm so afraid and nervous." And he says to me, "Kelly, it's not the end of the world. It's only Victorville." Well, I realized at that time that my dad wasn't going to let me quit, and I needed to grow, and I needed to learn and gain more experiences. I had to make a decision, and that's the most important part. Make a decision for personal and professional growth. So at that time, I began to learn all the sales techniques and strategies, and I practiced my words and voice on air, and I learned to lower my voice and how to become a better announcer and pronounce words and practice more. And I grew, and I learned, and I experienced exponential growth. Now, because I started my career young, I got married young, I had children young, and then I found myself divorced young and a single mother at the age of 28, raising 3 children. So I began a journey of being a single mom, and there was some growth that had to happen in that as well. And during this time, I was consulting with my dad in FCC compliance with radio and television stations. And going to school, I decided that part of my life dream, my personal growth, was to earn a bachelor's degree. I'd always felt that I needed to have a bachelor's degree in order to feel, I don't know, build my confidence. It was intrinsic. It was very personal to me. So I had the privilege of being a consultant, working from home, raising my kids, and going to school. And I was ready to move ahead with bigger radio career plans at the time. knew that I had the experience after 20 or so years that I could run radio stations, groups of them, or even regional. And I was going very, very fast, raising kids, working hard, getting my degree, networking, and moving forward. And then one day, at the age of 42, I found myself in the emergency room suffering from heart failure. It was a undiagnosed arrhythmia that had caused my heart to be beating so fast for such a long time. My cardiologist later told me probably for about 3 months. And it caused my heart to start to fail. Now, this sent me on a 2.5-year journey of doctor's appointments. I had to have a pacemaker implanted, surgical procedures, medications, and basically having my heart completely rewired. And this set me on a journey of depression, something that I had never experienced before. I'd always been extremely active, healthy, took care of myself, busy professional, raising kids, and suddenly here I was laying on the couch, unable to do anything. And as I started to improve, and it took several years, I realized that radio wasn't my dream and my passion. What was my passion? I didn't even know anymore. And I've always been a journal keeper. Since I was a teenager, I had started a journal and had always kept it going. And during my heart crisis, I realized that I was learning some lessons along the way. And one of them was I wasn't living with an attitude of gratitude. I was just surviving. And many of us do that. We just live in survival mode. Just let me get through this period of time. Just let me get through this job or this crisis or this unprecedented experiences that I'm going through. So when I started to feel better and my cardiologist basically told me I was a miracle and I had recovered, and nobody usually bounces back from a heart crisis such as this, it was then that I realized that my heart crisis changed my heart in more ways than one. And I wanted to help people. I wanted to help them get through a crisis or get through a period where they wanted to change or make changes. That's when I decided to go back to grad school and earn a master's degree in psychology and begin the path to become a licensed psychotherapist. Now, one of the things that happened during this time, once I finished grad school and I was working on my internship and trying to do this shift in my career from radio to a licensed therapist, as I was looking for jobs, people would ask me, okay, I don't understand the shift in this resume here. How did you go from a high-profile career in broadcasting to wanting to become a psychotherapist? And I kept telling my heart story over and over again. And that prompted me to write my book, Heart Lessons. So now my passion stems from my heart crisis that derailed my life and career. The health crisis was the catalyst that set me on a path toward becoming the licensed therapist that I am today. And it became my platform for encouraging personal growth through life's lessons. Now, I still work with organizations like CBS Radio and Television, Tribune Broadcasting, National Association of Broadcasters, the Alliance for Women in Media, California Association of Marriage and Family Therapists, government agencies, and a variety of nonprofit organizations. I speak at women's conferences, business breakout sessions, workshops, and churches. And I'm here to share with you some tools that I have gained that I want to give to you today. And one of them is the mindset shift. Now, you're embarking on a breakthrough here. You're going to be experiencing new techniques and new tools. And some of them is you've got to have the right mindset to make it happen. Because you know what? If you're not growing, you're dying. And I'm here to promote or help promote perpetual personal growth. Science has shown that positive thinking has many benefits to our mental and emotional health. The biochemicals that are triggered with positive thought have a feel-good reaction in our brains. So imagine how your life will improve when you start to plant seeds of positive thought. Joy Bell C wrote, "Inside that tiny seed lives the roots, branches, bark, trunk, leaves, twigs, and apple fruit of that apple tree. You can't see, feel, hear, taste, or smell any of that yet. Nevertheless, it's all inside that seed. The moment the seed is in your hand, all of that is in your hand too. From the root of the bark to the fruit. All you have to do is push that seed into the soil. And what makes anyone plant an apple seed? It's the belief that in that seed, there is a tree. So believe to have a seed is to have everything. So, what do you want growing from your thoughts? Plant seeds of positive thoughts and watch your life grow into having success and happiness. First thing you got to do is commit to improve on 1% per day. Agree to make one new habit and practice it for several days, then make a new one. Each day that you improve is a step closer to the growth you want to achieve. Whether it's to eat less sugar or make one extra phone call for business or read 30 minutes to expand your knowledge, whatever that new improvement, begin right now. Imagine your life where you want to be, how you wish to grow. I promise if you commit to improving just 1% each day, you'll improve more than 365% plus exponentially in 1 year's time. Imagine that. Choose one thing to improve upon. Now let's talk about balance. You've got to have balance in your life. And one of the things that I teach in my workshops is the 4 domains in life. If you don't grow, you die. That's relevant to so many things. What happens in our relationships if they don't grow? What about your business? Either it grows or it dies. Are you happy with where you're at right now? You're seeking growth. That's why you're here. We want our relationships to grow. We want our love to grow. We want the plants that we put in our yard or our house to grow. And we water them, we tend to them, we take care of them. So what are you doing for yourself? How are you growing emotionally, mentally, intellectually, spiritually? These are the key components to growth. Are you expressing gratitude for your own personal and professional growth? If you're not seeking to learn new things, to experience more life, to grow, then what are you doing? You're stagnating. You're staying put. And how can you be thankful for that? Practicing gratitude and thankfulness in all your experiences will encourage growth. So what are the 4 domains in life? It's work, home, community, and your private life. Take some time to assess your own 4 domains. I encourage you to make a list of what's going well in each of these domains: work, home, community. That means friends and business acquaintances and your involvement. And then, of course, your private life when you're by yourself. Then make another list of what's not working in each of these domains. Now, let's begin celebrating what is going well. And then we'll begin to work on areas that you feel you have some weaknesses. Let's talk about fear and rejection. Let's consider this. If you want to work on your fear of rejection, I'd say let's practice getting rejected. Let's make a game of it. Strike out for the day asking for rejection. If you're afraid of people telling you no, let's get out and count how many no's we can collect in a day. This is immersion or desensitization techniques. Becoming desensitized to it helps you overcome the fear of it. When you can change the way you think about your fears, there will be no holding you back. Be open to new possibilities. These are learnable skills. So make sure that you consider this. Negative attitudes are bad for you. Gratitude, it turns out, makes you happier and healthier. If you invest in a way of viewing the world that is angry and scared, frustrated, or immersed in feelings of doom, that's exactly what you're going to get back in return. And when you celebrate and find authentic reason to give thanks about anything that is going on in your world and focus your attention there, then you're going to be better off. Now, I'm not encouraging you to live in a state of denial. Be honest with yourself and begin slowly. If you have awful circumstances happening in your world or you have significant concerns over events happening in your life, of course you have every right to feel the way you do. I'm not suggesting that you hide out or be in denial. Gratitude works when you're grateful for something real. So what are you actually grateful for? It's a question that could change your life. Did you know that there have been studies that have concluded that the expression of gratitude can have profound and positive effects on your health, our moods, and even the survival of our marriages and the success of our careers? There's an old saying that if you've forgotten the language of gratitude, you'll never be on speaking terms with happiness. It turns out that it isn't just a hippy-dippy idea. There have been several studies that prove depression to be the inside-out version of gratitude. That means the more grateful you are, the less depressed you will be. The more grateful you are, the more success in business you will achieve. Growth will begin when the pain of staying where you are is worse than the discomfort of making the changes. So in order to grow, you must learn to let go of what's holding you back. When I was 16, I learned to water ski. It was my passion for many years, and I have taught and coached countless people how to water ski. There's a phenomenon that occurs with just about every beginner water skier. So let me paint the picture for you. You're in the water and you've put your skis on your feet. You've got the handle of the rope gripped tightly in your hands, and you feel confident that this is the time you will rise to the top of the water and the boat will pull you along and you'll feel the thrill of achievement. And for about 30 seconds, that's exactly what happens. You say, hit it, and the boat begins to move and the rope tightens and gently pulls you out of the water. You're skiing. You feel elated that you got out of the water and now you're sailing along. But something happens and you begin to wobble. The wake is not as steady as you imagined it would be, and it's harder to keep your legs steady than you thought. And then some sort of wave hits your ski and knocks you off balance. Suddenly, you've lost your footing, and you grip that rope handle even tighter as you begin to fall into the water. Your skis have now fallen off your feet, and your face is underwater as the boat drags you along like a torpedo, with the water rushing up your nose as your body is beaten up by the harsh waters of the boat's wake. But something inside you says, if I just hold on, I'll get back up again. So the boat drags you for a good 30 seconds. Meanwhile, your friends in the boat are yelling, but you can't hear them. You know what they're saying? Let go of the rope. Life is like that. In times of crisis, when it's clear we're just in it, we grab hold of our resolve and struggle along, trying to get back on our feet or get back on track. When the best and most peaceful approach is to surrender to the course. When you let go of the rope, you immediately free yourself from getting beat up by the drag, the bouncing, the force of the fight, and the water shooting up your nose and in your throat. You stop drowning while you allow yourself to be dragged by the forceful pull. Your life vest buoys you in the water and you can breathe. Oh, sure, you're going to have to shake off the shock of what just happened. You'll begin to feel the calm, the pause, the quiet, and you can think straight. And you probably say out loud, what the heck was I thinking, hanging on so tight? Let go of the rope. Believe me, whatever you're holding on to right now, it's not worth it. Once you make the choice to surrender to this event in your life that's dragging you along on a path that causes you anxiety, frustration, depression, when you let go and surrender, you'll be able to think more clearly, and you'll be able to really look at the circumstances, yourself, and all those people around you from an entirely new perspective. And you'll probably ask yourself, what the heck was I holding on to? Once you begin to let go, you can fill your mind with positivity by shifting your mindset towards success, beginning with a gratitude journal. Now, I've included a prompt. I call it a prompt to help you along the way. Included, it's meant to serve as just a prompt. What I want you to do is try this. Engage in your personal and professional growth. Okay? Now, a gratitude journal works by helping you shift your mindset. You're not going to have positive thoughts all day long. That's impossible, but we can give you a tool. The first thing is make a practice of writing down 5 things each day that you can be thankful for. Now, this is how you're going to change that brain chemistry that we talked about earlier in this audio. The brain chemistry, the neural pathways in your brain they have this path, and it affects all of the neurotransmitters, the dopamine levels, et cetera, the chemicals in our brain that are feel good. So your brain likes that. It pursues that. Sometimes, though, as human beings, we tend to go towards the negative. So start by looking at a gratitude journal and creating one. Write down 5 things you can be thankful for today. It might be something, in fact, it should be something extremely simple. Like, I'm thankful for the green lights I got all the way to the office. I'm thankful for the person who held the door open for me when I walked into the building. I'm thankful for the penny I found on the ground today. Or I'm thankful for that blossoming orange rose on the rose bush. Simple things like that. You have to change it every day. That's the only way that our brain is going to be sparked into changing those neural pathways. If you just do some main mantra, like, I'm thankful for my home, I'm thankful for my family, I'm thankful for whatever, and it's always the same, it's not going to have that same spark of changing your brain chemistry. I recommend that you do this at night. Like, change your bedtime routine just 10 minutes. Write down the 5 things that you're thankful for and put it on your nightstand. What happens is that you go to sleep with positive thoughts on your mind. Then when you wake up in the morning, there's that gratitude journal reminding you that you're going to do this again. So guess what? You start your day with positive thoughts and know that you're going to be looking for things to be grateful for that day. I promise that if you practice this for 30 days, number one, it'll become a habit. It'll help with that 1% improvement that we spoke about earlier. It's going to shift your mindset from the negative to the positive. As you engage in your personal and professional growth, remember this also. There are no stupid questions. We invite you to and encourage you to ask all the questions that come to mind and know that you're going to be respected and valued. If you have any questions for me, please don't hesitate to shoot me an email. I'm Kelly Orchard. That's Kelly, Kelly, at kellyorchard.com. Now, go out and enjoy your day. And remember this, gratitude is what's going to get you that positive mindset.